Hello, thank you. You always wanted to something know about the opening credits of the A-Team. You have the Battlestar Galactica Cyclops passing by. Was this intentional or was this something coincidental?
It was coincidence. I came up with that. We were shooting, we very seldom were on a studio lot. We were always on location. One time we were shooting at Universal Studios, where we made Battlestar Galactica, and as part of that tour, they had Cylons, and we were filming in one of the Cylons that was working the tour, happened to be walking, so I got this idea. We had a scene that started by the van, so I went to the guy in the Cylon and said, hey, would you just, then I went to the director, Tony Mordente, and he goes, what are you talking? I said, at the top of the scene so they could cut it out in editing. It was just an inside joke. There were some Battlestar Galactica fans working in editing for Stephen J. Cannell. And also the creator of Battlestar Galactica was in sort of a contest with the creator of the A-Team, Glenn Larson and Stephen Cannell, so I thought it might irritate him. So we just, at the beginning, I was up and sitting there before the scene, having just walked by, and I did that, one of those, don't I know you? No. And then it's like your story about the dog pulling you up. They eventually put it in the credits. So I was quite proud of that. For me, it was a way to acknowledge Battlestar fans.
Hi, this is more a question for Dwight, but you can both answer.
Can I jump in?
You mentioned indeed Dog Billy and how they ended up using your version. I was wondering how much of the craziness that Murdoch did actually came from you and how much came from the screenwriters.
Well, you know, it was a combination. I can put it to you this way. Most of the voices going into James Mason, doing impressions of people, doing animals, that was me. That was me. That was not written when I auditioned, and I did that during the show. And they were very, and to give you an example of the kinds of improvisation that they would allow you to do. There was we were doing a scene in a homeless shelter, and I was doing a takeoff on Burt Lancaster's Elmer Gantry. And I'm in there, and it was all these men standing around, and I had this great speech. I mean, Stephen Cannell's script, and he always wrote great stuff. And so there was this great speech, and I'm giving this speech, and one of the takes, I'm looking at all these men, and at the end, and this is the best, you always get a shot to put your own thing in at the end. And I saw all these men, and then I just said, and this was not written, I wonder where all the female bombs are. And they kept that in. I mean, that's the kind of thing that, you know, they would keep that sort of thing in. But our biggest problem was frequently we didn't have Stephen J. Cannell writing. And they once brought in an entire crew from Saturday morning cartoons. This is true. We never had the same writers. Every year there was a whole new set of writers, which is a real problem for a show when you have, I think, serious actors who are very talented who want the show to be successful. And you wonder where the consistency is. We're the #1 show in the country. Don't you think we should keep doing it? No. We're going to move on, pal. Don't worry. We'll fall across the finish line. I mean, that was their attitude. And but basically, they pretty much stuck with most of the stuff we improvised. But when it was good writing, you tried to do it. You tried to do it.
I agree.
Hello, Dwight. Can I ask, I know the initials HM, Murdoch, attributed Howling Mad to it. Did you as an actor ever decide in your own head what the initials could stand for as a name?
Actually, it was Howling Mad. There was a Howling Mad in reality in World War II, and that's where they got the name. So, I mean, that was his name. So, and I know, I didn't think of any name. I didn't go that far with it. I never had to. I was Howling Mad in my head. So.
Dwight, you did some voiceovers. Which character did you like most?
Voiceovers?
Yes.
Well, I love doing my cartoon, the cartoon show, the cartoon show I was a part of, called Chowder, and I played Mung Dal, and It was, I stole the voice from The Wizard of Oz. Frank Morgan. Oh, behind the, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. You know, that's what I basically just stole it. That's what I've done all my life, is steal other people's lives and voices and things. And then it's never quite, no one recognizes what it is, and then it becomes something different. But I love doing Chowder. I really did. That was a highlight for 2 years. I loved everybody on it. The writers were very creative. I made a living to an extent. It kept me, I was able to pay the rent, which was really, really, really important. And I think that's another thing Dirk will agree with. Most of us are struggling to pay the rent. And you're out there and you're glad to have a job.
And you were able to loan me money. Well, yeah, give me money. I'm not paying it back. No. That was not a loan, was it?
That was. Okay. So, I'll see you after this little give and take.
Dwight, can you loan me a few dollars? My kid needs new soccer boots.
Dwight, the show is a great show. But what do you like most, movie or theater or voiceovers?
Working with me anywhere.
I did love working with Dirk.
He follows me
I did. It was past tense. No, I loved the theater. I have to admit, one of the great experiences in life is doing a classic comedy, like to a full house, that is so well crafted, and you come out at the end and there's just one punchline after the other, and the audience is rolling in the aisles. And it's like I guess it's like a great symphony or something, and you know it's going to have the effect. That's one of the great experiences in life.
How do you leave the theater if they're rolling in the aisles? This is like
there's a lot of blood, dear.
I don't get it. It's like
ignore the blood, ignore the body of the city. It was just
well, we can't get out. They're rolling in the aisles.
No, but yes, I have to admit, I truly love working with live audiences. That's why I enjoy doing these.
And it's a different kind. It requires a certain discipline. It requires discipline and training, and there's a certain craft to it. It's more about the actor. Television movies is about, well, movies. I mean, it's about the director and the producers and the editors, and they can make anybody a good actor. Just do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And you just do it till you finally get something that's close, and then you patch it all together. You know, people become good film actors, and there's great film acting, but you don't have to be one in order to become successful.
One last question, I'm sorry.
I saw the remake movie this summer, and in my opinion it's a very good action movie, but it doesn't capture the spirit of the original series of the A-Team. So what's your opinion about that?
I couldn't say it better. I haven't seen the movies, but I have heard. That's what my children said. My two boys went to see it, and that's what they said. It's a really good action movie, but it doesn't have the essence of what the TV show had. But you know, part of that is because we were sort of lightning in the bottle, to be honest. We talked about it after the fact, but there was something about the four personalities that was just kinetic. You know the word kinetic? It was electric. And because George was, when he was T was you can't cast somebody out. He just had, and he was just playing himself. And then Dwight and I had a kinetic energy, but it just fed into things. It was barely controlled, controlled chaos lots of times on the set. And you can't, that's not about talent or anything, it's just personalities of people. And it's hard to find that, even if you got really. On the other hand, the other thing is they didn't know, a lot of people didn't understand the TV show. I mean, they didn't understand what made it successful. And what made it successful, part of its charm was its humor, and its self-deprecation, and its silliness, and corniness, and lack of seriousness. And so when they made the movie, you know, they wanted to make something that would be spectacular.
I did see it, and I loved Schultz Copley, and I went because I met Schultz on the set, and I just fell in love with him. I thought he was terrific, and I saw his audition, which blew me away. He was so good, and I was also coming from South Africa. Now Dirk, actually, he saw you in South Africa, didn't he? Yes. When Dirk, we were shooting the A-Team, Dirk went to South Africa.
1983.
And Schultz was his favorite television show, and came to see Dirk.
And it's amazing to hear this guy talk like this. Dwight, I can't tell you how much I love that show. Because I did that to meet you and to meet Dirk. And he wanted desperately to do the right thing with everything. And he wanted the show to be very faithful to the original, and it wasn't. And he knew it, and he felt bad about it. But they took, from my opinion, they took something from Hannibal, they took something from Murdoch, they took something from BA, and they gave it to Faceman. And he became bigger than the team. And yes, and so therefore they did away with the idea of the team in which he had a function, I had a function, T had a function, and Hannibal had the plan. And here it was, I love it when a plan comes together, but Faceman come up with it. You know, that's not the A-team. And, you know, that's, so to me, and also we helped little people. We went out and we little farmers and shop owners who were being chased by big guys, we helped them. And here was government intrigue and huge, mysterious organizations running around. And I guess it's updated, but it's not the same thing as helping the little guy. You know, these four guys who really had skills helping little people who didn't. And that was missing. That's my critique.
We were an ensemble cast, and you can't get movie stars to do ensemble for the most part. I mean, after George Clooney, we do Ocean's 11, and you can get. But Bradley Cooper's he's going to be the next really huge Hollywood movie star, and you're not going to put him into an ensemble movie and let him just do one thing. So.
Okay, I'm afraid we're going to have to round this up. Please give him a big thank you, Mr. Dirk, Benedict,